Good morning.
What's new?
Oh, nothing. I'm getting old, getting cold. Got allergies.
You know, years ago, my doctor prescribed something for allergies. It was a nasal spray.
Yeah.
A few weeks later, it was just kind of Mickey Mouse. I didn't think much about it. A few weeks later, I was walking past a flower garden. This was in the middle of summer. Huh? Stopped, turned around, and walked by. You know how the smell carries a memory? It took me a minute to place it. I was standing in front of summer flowers I hadn't been able to smell since I was a kid. And I've been spooked by this ever since. It's a medicine that actually worked, you know?
My nose is usually pretty good. I can usually, spot stuff before Linda. Yeah, what's that funny smell in the fridge?
Thank you, Anthony. Jennifer's now going to adjust my sound. How's it feeling to you guys? A little echoey, a little too high, Jennifer? Sorry, this is not her fault. I didn't take the time to do a sound check. How's that? Better? Down a bit? Down a bit, Jennifer. You're like the bestest ever. No, really, I said down a bit.
Not too many people here.
Is that better? No, we're still getting a ton of echo. Sorry, you guys. I'm going to talk while Jennifer is getting rid of the echo for me, which is not easy. Thank you to everyone who said welcome back. Yes, I had a terrific few weeks away. Liz and I did get to Halifax for a few days. I feel super sorry for anyone who came after us because they get no lobster at all and very little ice cream. Okay? There's no lobster and very little ice cream left in Nova Scotia. But we did have a great time, and it's great to see you all. So, this morning, we are going to be starting a new series, which I will tell you in our reflection period. And in the meantime, we're going to sing two songs that are both about finding stillness within. Finding stillness within. Somebody said to me this week, well, it's summer, everything is quiet, people are peaceful. Is that your experience of the world right now? Is that your experience of life right now? And what's going on in your own life right now? I'm not sure that many of us experience peace on a really regular basis. So two songs that are about finding that deep peace within, and then we'll move into our service. Is the sound better for you now? Yeah. Susan's liking it. Yeah? Yeah. Okay, then let's stand, and Anthony will play, and we'll sing one of our favorites, Come and Find a Quiet Sanctuary. If you want to sing, Nancy, come sing. thousands of years. It's a way of acknowledging that we don't walk the faith path by ourselves. As much as we may think we live in our isolated little brain, everything we do with each other. Our energy infuses each other, infuses this world, changes us at the same time. So that's a lot for 3 little words that we're going to say, or a few little words we're going to say, but that's what this is about. It's acknowledging the people who are spending this spiritual time with you today. So I say, peace of God be with you. You call that also with you. Turn around, say hi to people who are with you today. The peace of God be with you. Say hi. And you guys can be seated. We have very, very few announcements to share. The announcements, of course, went out in your e-news. If you're not getting the e-news, let us know, because you don't want to miss anything around here. Okay, wildly successful book sales over the summer, but the big one is in September during the Polish Festival. So this is the moment to look around your place and bring us any book that you cannot otherwise get at the library. You can read it then, okay? Bring us books, because the books will be transformed into love and food for people during the year. Everything but textbooks and magazines and reference books, manuals, okay? Yes, yay, books. Saturday, August 24th, members of, how's the echo now? Is it better? A little better? Okay, good. August 24th, members of our Kindred Circle, the Indigenous Relations Group, are going to be going, as they do every year, to the powwow at the Mississaugas of the Credit. So, if you would like to go, ask Nancy. I'm driving, you're driving, Tim's driving, but can they let you know, or contact the office or whatever? That's next Saturday. 2 weeks from now. It's not next Saturday. Not next Saturday at all. Don't even think about it next Saturday. There you go. So that's all I want to talk about today, except I've got a ways we love the world. Every Sunday, of course, you come in and you see the box from Not Just Tourists, which is our group that sends free medical supplies around the world to people in need. Every year, as you know, we save over 100,000 pounds of unused medical supplies from going into Ontario landfills. And it all flows through our church, up here and downstairs, through the help of an amazing number of volunteers. Right now, the places it's going to mostly are the Sudan and Somalia and Ukraine, okay, and Cuba, strangely enough, okay? Most of what you see here is going to end up in one of those places. I come in here sometimes on the weekday and I look and I go, wow, the things that are collected and sorted in this church are going to be shared throughout the world. We're not passive in our help with this group. Not only do we give them a ton of room without whom they could not survive, I mean, they just wouldn't be able to function. We estimate that as people arrive at our door with supplies, that the office staff probably make about 780 trips. We make about 780 contacts with people every year, probably more, who arrive here with medical supplies. If we have time and they have time, we'll spend a couple minutes and tell them what they've donated to and how important it is. Often those people are donating something that is left over from caring for a loved one in their home, and it's so meaningful to them to know that there are things that are left over or part of their loved one's legacy as it goes out around the world. So this is an ongoing way that we love the world, and it is so important. As I hear the news about the Ukraine on the radio, I always remember we are not doing nothing. Okay, music with Anthony. Thanks, Anthony. So before I was going to say, there, I've been away, I've forgotten these things. I forget them when I'm It's not working. Oh, now it is, now it is, now it is, now it is. Okay, life is good again. Apparently technology is a gift in our world. I'd have to be convinced sometimes. Okay, before I start talking about what I want to talk about today, who had plans for what they wanted to do this summer? And I'm not going to ask you if you managed to do it, but, you know, who had stuff they want to do? What do you want to do this summer, Bob? Go to Stratford and see a play. Does everyone feel like they want to ask if Bob did it? I do. I said I wouldn't. I do. Did you go to Stratford and see a play? Okay. Summer ain't over yet, Bob. Summer ain't over yet, and they run those shows right through to the end of October. You got lots of time. Anybody else have something they thought? Yeah, Ian. You're going to New Brunswick? Nice. I think it's far enough away from Nova Scotia, you might get seafood and ice cream. Yeah. Okay. Bettina, what do you want? Camping. Have you been camping? Okay, I'm serious. There's still summer left. You know, you guys can make this happen if you feel like it. Billy. Camping and canoeing where there were no people. Okay, all right. I don't know if you did it. I wish that for you, Mona. Mona is going to Nova Scotia, and I do apologize. Okay. Cow's ice cream, I'm sorry we ate it, but there are other kinds there. Anybody else have something they wanted to do this summer? Yeah? No? Who on their list of things they want to do this summer put stop suffering? Nobody? Stop suffering. Stop suffering. No? Really? Sid did. Good on you, Sid. I know. As I'm saying that, you're thinking, what an odd thing to put on your list for things you want to do this summer, right? But I have been wondering over my summer reading and contemplating whether it's an odd thing not to put that on our list. Why would we not put that on our list? Because as I said at the beginning, it has felt to me a little bit, in some ways, like a summer of suffering. You know, the wars, the effects of climate change, you know, stuff going on with your family maybe, stuff going on with your friends, stuff going on with your kids. My sister phones me often. She says, why did we have them? We agree our hormones trick us, right? Stuff going on. So we may picture that the summer is going to be this relaxing, wonderful time, but I'll tell you, and I've said this before, even the fact that people keep saying, oh, summer is short, causes me suffering. Okay, I mean, you can call it stress, you can say it's worry, you can call it anxiety, but anything that disrupts your sense of peace is suffering. So the question would be, why do we not put on our list at all times, I just don't want to suffer anymore? And I think I know the reason why we don't, and it may be twofold. The one is we may simply be used to it, okay? We're just used to the idea that life is going to feel like bang, bang, bang. Oh, and this is a problem, and this is a problem, and this is a problem. We may just be used to living in that kind of feeling. It reminds me of a friend I was talking to a couple weeks ago who is 8 years sober, and she said that she had been an alcoholic for so long that when she woke up in the morning and everything hurt and she felt sick and that kind of thing, she had forgotten that wasn't normal. She had forgotten that feeling sickly and achy in the morning didn't have to happen. And the morning she first awoke and her body felt better, she couldn't figure out what was going on. She thought there was something wrong with her. And I wonder if sometimes we get in that place where we're just so used to the anxiety, the worry, the pain, that we almost don't realize that there's another way to be.
That seems impossible. And I think the other reason that we don't put on our list no more suffering, or even less suffering, is because we don't think it's possible. We don't think it's possible. Life is always going to bring up another problem, right? Life is always going to bring up another difficulty. We're going to get older. We're going to get achy. We're going to realize that we've eaten all the ice cream and it's gone. I mean, whatever it is. We do it in small ways. We do it in big ways. The spiritual book that you know I love, Course in Miracles, says it doesn't matter if it's a small or a large piece of suffering. Anything that disturbs your peace is something you need to address. Anything. And we know that too. I mean, we go through times when there's major crises that we're addressing. We go through times when there are fewer major crises that we're addressing. And we feel anxiety and worry in both of those, right? Yeah. We're like the alcoholic. We have forgotten that this is actually not the way we're meant to live. It's a pretty big statement. And I think this summer, this summer, as I spent time rereading like 4 times the New Testament, I'm going like this because, like, what is wrong with me? Okay, there's Agatha Christie books out there. But I was just trying to drill down on what does this mean to me? Like, I preached about this stuff for like 14 years now. What does this mean to me? What I came up with over and over and over again is 2 things too. One, how much we have used Scripture to make us suffer. What? Yes, we have. And 2, how much it is offering us a path that every faith path offers at its best, which is a way to stop feeling and living in and sharing, because we will, this pain. That's what's at the core of the message. I realized in reading the Old Testament over and over that we get very trapped in, one, thinking that Christianity is a religion. I know, are you all sitting there going, I don't have a religion? It is, but Jesus didn't make it that way. Jesus got nothing in it about a religion that looks like Christianity. Jesus doesn't say, go and build buildings. Jesus doesn't say, get together and do this stuff in this order. Jesus doesn't say, you need to do this kind of ritual, okay? He already had a religion. He was Jewish. Other people around him had different religions, and he never said to them, stop doing your religion. Isn't that interesting? He never said, stop doing your religion and do this religion instead. Jesus didn't create a religious system. Human beings, we created a religious system after Jesus was gone. And if you were here when I did Christian history, you'll know a lot about that. If not, we'll do it again sometime, maybe in the fall, okay? So what was Jesus offering then? Jesus was offering what every mystic teacher, what every wisdom teacher offers. Jesus was offering a way to be the peace of God that we are. You don't like the word God, use transformative power of love, use something else, okay? Jesus was offering a thought system. A thought system. And that is different than a religion. Now, in a religion, there may be things that you are told you have to believe. But that's different than a thought system. A thought system means a philosophy of how you live your thought life. Okay, that sounds super weird, right? So let's go in a different direction for a minute. But hold on to that. Jesus was offering a thought system. I'm going to say, and that thought system is based on love that you are, and peace that you have, and suffering that you don't got to do. So let's talk about our thought system. You've all heard, your thoughts create your world, right? Wayne Dyer, the great spiritual writer, wrote, what you focus on expands, which simply means what you put into your mind expands, becomes your world. So that means that if you, let's say, watched CSI, okay, like 24/7 for 18 weeks, you're going to think the world is a more unsafe place. Now, there's nothing wrong with CSI as entertainment, but the idea is that what you're putting into your mind, what you're allowing into your mind, is going to create the world that you see. And that's going to change how you respond to the world and how other people respond. If I stop making sense, you tell me, okay? So what normally goes on in our thought system? Yap, 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 right? Yap, yap, yap. All day. All day, our mind is going. My mind is making me crazy, right? I can't stop thinking this, right? All of those things. I can't let this go. I can't let this go means I can't let this thought go. Our mind is going all the time, 24/7. And this is what it's doing because this is its job. It is sorting things for us. Okay? Okay, so we're walking down the street. And our mind is going, oh, there's a new store over there. I wonder if I'd like to use that store. Oh, no, it's a candle store. I hate candles. They're always smelly. I'm never going to the candle store. Who can make money from making a candle store? What they really should have put in is another bookshop, right? And then you're going a little further and you're going, oh, it feels really chilly. I should have brought my sweater. I wish I brought my sweater. I should get a new sweater. I don't like that sweater. I really like that other person's sweater. I wonder where they got their sweater. Yeah? I mean, just give me your own version of it, right? But that's what our minds are doing all the time. Not only are they commentating our world, and we'll get to why they do that, but they are also judging it. They're judging it at the same time. They judge the candle shop. They judge the sweater. They are always saying, okay, this is good and this is bad. This is good and this is bad. This I accept, this I don't. That's what our minds are doing all the time. And it's exhausting. And it's so exhausting that I think we're so tired we don't even see it happening anymore. Most of the time we don't even see it happening. So why are our minds doing that? Well, because we need them to do that, okay? We need them to be ordering our world. We live in a world that is full of stimulus and uncertainty and new stuff and old stuff, whatever. We need a piece that's going to order it, okay? So it's going to say, this is okay, this is not okay, I remember this, this reminds me of that. That's all fine. We do need help ordering our world. But when it becomes not fine is when it makes us suffer. When it makes us suffer. So I'm going to give you an example of this that is so, so simple. I was on a walk yesterday through a really beautiful country lane. Just absolutely gorgeous. It's one I've been to many times. I really look forward to seeing it in every season. And I was, working on just staying open to what's happening because the mind wants to bring me away, right? Bring me away. Oh, this is what you got to do this afternoon. Or you'll be much more comfortable when you're sitting at home on the couch watching Netflix. Think about that one. I'll be much more happy tonight when I'm sitting on the couch watching Netflix. I'll feel safe and comfortable, right? It's telling you you're not now. Okay? Pay attention to that one. So I'm walking across the country lane and I come to this field and they baled the hay, right? And it's so beautiful, this beautiful expanse of field and the baled hay, and the sky yesterday was blue and the clouds were puffy and white. Just an idyllic scene. So I get out my phone because I love to take pictures and then change up my screen, saver shot and stuff. And I'm going to take the picture, and there is in front of it this rusty fence. And it's super annoying to me. I want the rusty fence. Okay? I don't want that rusty fence. So my mind's going, we need to get rid of the rusty fence. Rusty fence is a problem. Okay? Rusty fence bad. So, yeah. You can laugh, you all do it. We all do it. So then I try to maneuver myself where I am not going to get the rusty fence, but I can't quite get the scene that I want. So I then start getting annoyed because the rusty fence is there, and because the rusty fence is closed, and because of the stupid ethic I was brought up with that says I can't go onto someone else's ground if they've got a fence there. And I am just super annoyed because I want to take the idyllic picture that was making me feel so good, right? I finally just take the picture. And later on, I get home and I'm ready to, delete it, and I look at it and I go, that rusty fence really makes the picture. So what happened in that moment? Where did that suffering idea go? What was it? Shauna says, pew. Yeah, phew. It just went, right? It was just an idea. It was just an idea. It was just a thought. It honestly had no value because at one point I thought that the rusty fence was bad, and now I'm thinking the rusty fence is good. That thought had no value. And yet, in a small way, but in a meaningful way, what did I do? I suffered. I wanted life to be different. Yeah? So I called this, The Journey Begins Here. For the next few weeks, we're going to talk about the ways that we use our minds, or allow our minds to use us, that interfere with our peace, that interfere with our ability to live from a place of love and openness and peace, which we can do. And it's not just Christian. Every spiritual path says we can do this. Now, somebody is sitting there going, wait a minute, the Buddhists say life is suffering. They don't say life is suffering. That has been mistranslated. What they say is clinging to the things of life is suffering. Okay? Like I was clinging to these ideas. Most of what we cling to are ideas that the rusty fence was ruining my life in that moment. Shouldn't be there. Okay, so for the next few weeks, we're going to talk about the ways that our mind causes us suffering. And it's going to be easy, and it's not going to be upsetting. Okay? But the reason we're going to do that is because this is the basis of what the message of Jesus is. When you realize where your suffering is coming from, you can start to work with that. And the reason you can work with that is because it is not who you are. It is not who you are. You are not that voice. Descartes very famously said, I think, therefore I am. That is one of the stupidest things that has ever been said. I know, it sounds so clever, right? I remember when I was a teenager, I was going, oh, that's so cool. Because as every philosopher has said since him, yeah, but who is saying that? Who is seeing that I think? I was spending some time in the sanctuary this week, and I was looking at the pictures of Jesus that are all around. I can't move from this spot because then they can't see. But if you guys can turn, you can see a picture of Jesus up there at the Last Supper, picture of Jesus up there. I mean, it's a church. We got a bunch of them, right? A picture of Jesus over here. You can find one. In these pictures of Jesus, you're going to see that Jesus is wearing two colors. Artistically, Jesus was portrayed as wearing two colors. One would be a light blue, sometimes a white, and one would be a red. And the reason for that was to show that Jesus was two things together. The light blue represented Jesus' divine nature, and the red was Jesus' creaturely self. And what a beautiful reminder to us. We have this creaturely self that lives in this world of distractions, this physical world we call it. We have this creaturely self that thinks that we're just trapped in our little minds and that we are separate from other people. We have this creaturely self that thinks suffering is okay and there's nothing we can do about it anyway. And then we have our divine self, our true self, our deepest self, our core self, our source self, which is connected to every other self. And that self lives continually in peace. Yeah, it does. Lives continually in peace. And that self is what we are able to plug into, find, step back from our distraction thoughts and live in when we make a key decision. The key decision is one that we summed up some time ago. We did a series. Remember this one? Remember that line, I rule my kingdom which I can rule? Jesus says over and over, the kingdom of heaven is where? The kingdom of heaven is in you. Kathy's going here. The kingdom of heaven is in you. What is the kingdom of heaven? The kingdom of heaven is the place of peace. The place of deep connection to love. The place of absolute value. The place of place of knowing that everything here is one, and that we have a part to play in bringing forward that peace, bringing forward that love. And as we live in that ourselves, we change the suffering of the world for others. But the decision that we make, where the journey begins, is when we open our minds and our hearts to the idea that, yes, not only can I live with less or no suffering, that is my natural state. We think of the word dis-ease, disease, means we're not at ease with who we truly are. So that's what we're going to talk about over the next few weeks, as I say. We're going to, next week, do the first way that our mind works, that causes us suffering, and talk about what Jesus said. But I'm leaving you with two thoughts. I say two, I hope I remember both of them, or to do both of them. The first is, I was also thinking this week about my mom, who passed away a year ago. And at the end of every summer, we grew up Baptist, and at the end of every summer when I was a teenager, my mother used to bribe me to help her lead Vacation Bible School. Okay? Like, out and out, bribe me. I was a teenager. I did not want to be doing Vacation Bible School with my mom, and certainly none of my friends could find out. I'm sure there was a condition of doing it. I used to lead the singing and the crafts, which is bad because you should not give me scissors, but no children were harmed. I was actually trying to think, what did she bribe me with? And I think, because school was about to start, right, and I had to look sharp, I think she probably bribed me with the price of like a pair of designer jeans, which was a lot. It was like $30. Yeah. No one gasped. That was a while ago. Anyway, so what do I remember? I remember leading the songs. One of them was, you probably couldn't even do this now. I'm going to do this for you because this will help you remember. Brown squirrel, swish your bushy tail. I'm 15. I'm leading kids. Brown squirrel, swish your bushy tail. Hold a peanut in your toes, wrinkle up your little nose. Brown squirrel, swish your bushy tail. All the kids would go, again! I'm going, oh my God. But the other song I remember is a biblical one. The squirrels are not. And you may know this one. It's from Matthew 7, I think 24 to 25. It's a parable. The wise man built his house upon the rock. The wise man built his house upon the rock. The wise man built his house upon the rock. You know this one? The wise man built his house upon the rock, and the rains came tumbling down. The rains came down and the floods came up. The rains came down and I'm going to do the whole thing. So just, settle in. Came up. The rains came down and the floods came up, and the house on the rock stood firm. Now, second verse. Things go badly. The foolish man. We used to do foolish men, right? It always sounded like he was having way more fun. The foolish man built his house upon the sand. The foolish man built his house upon the sand. The foolish man built his house upon the sand. And the rains came tumbling down. I got two people singing. The rains came down and the floods came up. The rains came down and the floods came up. The rains came down and the floods came up. And the house on the sand went flat. Exactly. There you go. Why did I sing this for you? One, because it amused me. But the other is because this sums up the choice that we have to make in our journey in life. If we want to build our house on things that are transient, okay, I will be happy when there's no problems. I will be at peace when we have solved all of the difficulties of the world. I will be at peace when that person stops doing this, okay? They need to stop doing this so I can be comfortable. Whatever it is, that's building your house upon the sand, and it's not going to hold you up. It's not going to sustain you. The choice that we make when we decide to make a spiritual journey, a consciously spiritual journey, is when we build on something solid. And that something solid is the realization that we don't have to live in pain. And that if we don't live in pain, we are going to make sure that others around us, simply by being who we are, do not live in pain. You look at the crisis that's happening in wars around the world. Where did that come from? That came from the ideas that people have of their separation, of how life should be, of what they want, right? And look at the suffering that is caused. If we start ruling our kingdom in a different way, looking at our thoughts, getting to know our thoughts, choosing other thoughts, which is only up to us. That's what free will is. Free will does not mean you get to choose what happens. Free will means you get to decide how you're going to be with it. Okay? And with yourself. If we make a different choice, the choice that all of the great sages, including Jesus, offer to us, we're going to live a completely different way. A completely different way. We're going to be like my friend, the alcoholic, who waked up. We're going to wake up one morning and go, wow, I may not have solved everything in my life that I want to solve, but I am not suffering in the same way. I am bringing love to this situation in a different way. I am at peace in a different way. And that changes everything. So that's what we're going to talk about for the next, I think, 3 weeks. We're going to talk about the way our mind can be known to us in a different way, and how we can tap more into that inner peace. I'm going to give you an assignment. This is my second thing for today, for this week, if you want to, your mission, should you choose to accept it. Just to notice your thoughts. See if you can just feel like you step back a little. Notice what your thoughts are doing in this moment. That's it. That's all you got to do. When we come back next week, we'll take it a little further. In the meantime, I have a prayer, which is the prayer that I feel is going to guide us through these next few weeks. And you can say it with me if you want, or you can just sit there quietly. The peace of God, which means the peace that is in my core, the peace that I am, okay, that I am. The peace of God is everything I want. The peace of God is my one goal. It is the aim of all my living here, the end I seek, my purpose and my function and my life. I'm going to say, if you want a second piece of homework, you don't have to have it. As you're noticing your thoughts, you might also ask yourself, what am I asking for rather than peace? Yeah? As you're noticing your thoughts, okay, I need this to be changed and that to be changed and that to be changed. How would it feel if I said, no, all I want is peace? Good one. Okay, I'm going to say it again. The peace of God is everything I want. The peace of God is my one goal. It's the aim of all my living here. It's the end I seek. It's my purpose, and it's my function. It's what I'm supposed to do in my life. God's blessing shines on me from within my heart, where love abides, like Kathy did. I will be still and let the earth be still along with me. And in that stillness, we will find the peace of God. The journey begins when we say yes to that. Thanks be to God.
Hear the prayers of the people today. God, by whatever name we choose to call you, however we experience you in our individual lives, we thank you for the reassurance that we are more than our fumbling, difficult, struggling thoughts, that we are not helpless in this world, that we have as our being a core of love, peace, generosity, and limitlessness that is there at all moments, and that at all moments you are willing to help us step back into, so that we can bring to this difficult, struggling world a deeper sense of your peace. Today we pray for so many places in the world that are in need of peace, our own minds and hearts, and also places like the Ukraine, Sudan, places like the Middle East. We weep for the carnage in Gaza and what we call Israel and beyond. Bring peace to our minds. Help us all begin that journey now. And let us pray over and over in our hearts that we may find a better way forward soon. We have prayers to make for ourselves. Bettina asks a prayer for peace of mind for Jean. Ian says a prayer for safety for his friend Matt. Billy says a prayer of thanks for her late father on his birthday today. We say a prayer today, thanking you for the lives of everyone who has touched ours, made them better, given us love. May all of those who shared that with us and went before us be at peace, and may we be reminded how fortunate we are to have had them in our lives. And we say a prayer today for the troubles and concerns that we each carry in our hearts, the names we haven't shared, but which are on our minds. We know that you walk with us. We know that we are not alone. We know that we are companioned and held. We know that everything that we are is available to us when we ask in the stillness of our hearts simply to hear your voice and to be reminded that we are your perfect and beloved children, each of us and always. We ask this knowing that your presence is in this world always, and we say, Amen. Please stand up. We're going to do our blessing and benediction. Now go out into the world, taking with you what Spirit has placed in your mind and your heart, and knowing that you have a mission in the world, and the world is waiting for you. So may the love of God and the grace of our God, Jesus Christ, and the fellowship and communion of the Holy Spirit rest and abide upon us, everyone, now and forever. Amen. We're going to sing Go Gently, Go Lightly today.